find some funding to do some small line replacements. It appears that we'll never get Nixon Lane or Wilkins Lane finished, so we're going to make application to replace that and do it ourselves under the construction price. And just we'll make that application, and if we get $30,000 or $40,000, I think we can replace at least that one line before we get moved on.
Yeah, that's the one I hear the biggest complaint.
Well, that's acceptable. If we get the grant, then we'll bring it back to the board for approval. That appears to be a more of an urgent issue to replace that line than anything else we've got. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. That concludes the report.
Yes.
All right, we'll move to new business. And the first order of business is consent calendar. Can I have a motion?
Make a motion, we approve consent calendar.
Is there a second?
Second.
And moved and seconded that we approve the consent calendar. Have a roll call vote. Mr. Paul.
Aye.
Aye. And aye. Thank you. Next is the VRS. And the first thing is a early retirement memo.
We have quite a few things out of the VRS. The first memorandum, Board of Supervisors requesting that the board consider a proposed retirement agreement that would allow employees with 30 years or more service to retire prior to the Medicare retirement date. The plan would provide health insurance coverage for the employee up to 4 years. In addition to that, the employee would be required to work the equivalent hours based on his final pay to alleviate that, and they also apply the retiree health care benefit towards the cost of incurred coverage. This not only provides a savings of about $200,000 to the county over the 4-year period by reducing wages and other items. It also provides, based on the proposal, that you have to provide some hours that these people return to the county and provide the hours of service as part-time people for the locality. Gives you two benefits, benefit to them and benefit to us. I understand that it takes about 90 days for this to happen. Originally, I indicated that we needed those everybody to provide that they would do that by June the 1st. Maybe we need to relax that date. If they fall, the 30 years falls in with the 90-day period, that they allow the person to go ahead and sign up and take advantage of that. But it would be an agreement between the county and the individual, and there's only 8 or 9 people that would qualify for that in the county.
And because there's one person that falls in the middle of July is 30 years in the sheriff's department, and I'd like to see it at least extended to cover him.
Well, we haven't really approved this yet. We had a motion. So we need to approve this. Can I make a motion to approve this and get it amended so that, would that be the proper way to do that, probably?
I think if we do that, we've got to change the dates because they can't get retired in 90 days.
Right.
So we changed the dates to September 1st or August the 31st. But you have to sign up for the next 30 days to indicate you want to participate. But then anybody that falls prior to August 31st or September, whatever date that is, Ian, do you know when its time's up?
July 28th.
July the 28th.
So August 31st, if you fall before August 31st, you can qualify, and anybody can sign up. changes be made or allows to make those changes.
Well, can we do that before we make, just put it in there now, and then we only take one motion, right?
Right.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion that we adopt this with the change in dates that Mr. Dalton's suggestion.
Okay, that's the way we can get it. Let's do it. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, it's been moved and second. Anybody have any discussion concerning it?
What's the definition of part-time? Is it
Part-time,
hours?
part-time, our definition of what a part-time laborer is.
Mhm.
Let's, for ease of me, if you've got the last year here, you make $30,000. And your hourly pay divided by 280 is close to $15 an hour. Then you've got to minus your retirement health, that's $300 left a month. You need to provide 20 hours a month, part-time, to cover it. Okay?
So they are basically working the hours to pay for their
Health.
health.
They're not, are they getting checked for the time that they're working, the 20 hours a month?
I think the check will be applied towards the health insurance coverage, or
Okay, so they're not getting,
real. They'll get a stub that says you worked this many hours in this back, but it'll be applied directly to healthcare. Now, if we want to pay them and then they turn around and write us a check, that's okay too, but I don't see the point of that.
I don't know.
For clarification, is this similar to what the school systems have done?
The only, it's similar except that we're requiring them to work so many hours.
And that can be different depending upon their salary.
Yes.
Explain the date thing to me. If you said it's August 31st, if they've got 30 years, September the 31st, they can't retire this year? Could they retire next year?
This is a one-time law.
Oh, okay.
But if we said August 31st, what we're saying is that's going to catch everybody that's within that time frame.
Okay.
And this is a one-time offer, but we could revisit it next year.
Yeah.
If we needed to.
If we felt like there was a need, and the potential savings is, the way I read it, up to $200,000 for the county.
And that's including.
Pretty good.
If everybody took.
If everybody, I said that's a potential savings. Okay, I believe I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Okay, we'll vote. Mr. Horning? Aye. Aye. And aye. Thank you. All right, next we have some VRS resolutions. There are several in here.
The General Assembly passed the bill that requires the county to provide raises and a corresponding salary increase so that to pay for the employee portion of the VRS. You have several resolutions, one of those being a resolution that the first one that we take the alternate rate of 7.34%, which say can considerable amount of money in this year's budget and next year's budget.
Is that resolution, which one is that? Well, I can get a motion.
That's the first.
Is it resolution number 1?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We need a motion to pass resolution number 1.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded, we pass resolution number 1 as far as retirement contributions rate elections, is what we have chosen. Any discussion?
This is how much we're gonna pay for their retirement, not how much of a raise we're gonna actually give them. Because we'd figured a 6% raise in our budget, right?
Yeah, this is only VRS right now, I think.
This first one is for the alternate VRS rate that we pay for the employee. The actuarial studies said we need to be paying 10.48. The General Assembly allowed us to do 70% of that, and this is for the 7.34%. The first resolution.
And it's just 70% for this upcoming fiscal year, or is that
The next two.
next 2 years, and then we will have to go to the,
We'll get another actuarial study with the General Assembly or arbitrarily change it again. What budget crisis everybody's facing.
Everybody clear now? All right, call for the vote. Mr. Hall?
aye.
Aye.
Passes 7-0.
The next resolution is the resolution that says that you will require the employee to pay 5%, and 5% raise to each employee to offset that coverage. And that's for Plan 1, Plan 2, FY 2013, all those will be 2013. Chairman of the governing body needs to be authorized to sign this. Approve this resolution.
I'll make that motion.
I'll
second it. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Horning? Aye.
Aye.
And aye. Thank you.
The third resolution is the local body concurrence with the school division electing to pay the VRS board certified rate. And
Always the same, we're doing the same thing for the school. So
I would make a motion, we approve that resolution.
Second,
Second.
and this, any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Horning? Aye.
Aye.
And aye, thank you. That gets through all of them?
Mr. Chairman, if I may address Mr. Hornby's comment,
Okay.
the budget does contain 6% raise because of the 5% accident.
Yeah, I understand that. Because if you didn't give them that 1%, then they was gonna be losing money. I understand that.
That's all I'm all,
When I saw that, I just thought that they were trying to tell us that we had to give them a 7% raise. That's the reason I was asking. I thought it was our government telling us more of what's been paid.
So it's gonna be 6 for the employees then?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, the next order of business is a memorandum between the County of Bland and Twin Counties and the County of Witt concerning 911 customer service. I guess we need a motion to enter into this memorandum of understanding between the three governing bodies.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Anyone have any discussion? Now, does this put Blaine County back in? You know, I didn't understand that.
Actually, this is an agreement that Bland County and the Twin Counties were actually redundant. If one of us goes down, the other ones can still operate. They can cover our 911 costs. They got the grant. The actual physical location of, I'm gonna call it the box with all the information, that will be located here in Witt County as part of this. There'll be one in Twin County and one in Blaine.
So if anybody goes down, they can flip over.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I believe I had a motion to accept this memorandum in a second. Any discussion? Not, we just call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
7-0, thank you. I have an audit from the Joint Public Service Authority. Anyone have any questions concerning the audit?
questions. I will make a comment. I am talking to the Joint Public Service Authority attorney. It appears that PSA has accumulated a substantial amount of cash over time, above and beyond what they need to operate on a normal basis. I've asked the PSA attorney to render an opinion whether PSA has set a fiscal policy of how much cash to keep on hand. If that money can be, excess money can be returned to the two-member entities on a prorated basis of the trash or the ownership of the facility. And should have that answer back in a month or so.
If he says you can't, then we could also reduce fees and live off the back of the land, could we not?
We could.
It's a win-win.
So will we still be required to make those payments? Are we requesting to discontinue payments?
We are not requesting, I'm requesting
Rebate.
a rebate.
And discontinue the payments?
Well, we can't get both. But
That's
if
right.
if they've got more fees, or more money in the bank than a fiscal policy that they really need to operate, and we've paid 70% of those fees in over time, then they should give rebate part of that back. That's what I'm trying to capture. It's sort of like what we're doing at the jail. We've been getting credit at the jail of about $12,000 to $15,000 per month for the 12 months now. They've been charging us for state responsible prisoners, and now we're getting a credit back on that. And that's part of the savings that we're going to. In June, say, we only spent $1.3 million out of 1.6 at the jail last year because of getting that discount.
So when you say credit, where they're actually cutting a check back to us, it's not
Well, they're just taking it off our bill.
off the bill?
Yes.
Okay.
As good as a check.
Yeah.
A discounted bill is as good as a check. So that's the kind of things the staff's trying to do and trying to work through to save the county money. And just in the jails here, $250,000 is a pretty substantial amount of money.
All right, that brings us to any other business?
Mr. Chairman, I would request that you'd be able to add a little bit of budget discussion to this agenda now.
Well, that's no problem. If you want to, are you prepared to go forward now? You want to recess and come back with a work session?
I think what we need, have about a 10-minute break. I can be ready for it.
Church, did you have anything to say?
23
I didn't see you wasn't on the agenda, so I didn't know.
There's a couple of things.
Unfortunately, it's on this farm.
You said there's a couple of things. There are a couple of things.
Okay. I certainly didn't mean to leave you out, you know that.
That's okay. No problem. There was gonna be a $7.5 million shortfall again this year in the compensation board budget concerning sheriff offices. The governor did cover that in his budget amendments, which had been approved by the General Assembly. He also placed, the Witt County, along with 34 other counties, in the 50% bracket, which we don't meet. So we're not going to be losing any money from our executive.
Was there 4 counties or 3 counties that didn't make that? 4, okay.
Four did not.
And they're all down in the south side area, Suffolk, and around that area.
Along 95.
95 and 85, I think.
Right, yeah. Well, the sheriff that caused all this controversy was on 85, he wouldn't go here. But, we are not in the, agencies that are gonna be affected by that. We're at 44.4%, and due to everybody's efforts, BML and Sheriff's Association and DACO and, Bill Carrico, our legislators, got these, especially, they looked real hard at Southwest Virginia and realized what was going on. And, the governor amended it from 40% to 50%, which removed us from the equation. And the only other thing I had, I figured Gene would say something about this. Cripple Creek Day is Saturday. Parade starts at 10, we will be providing security for that.
You were mentioned on the radio this morning for that.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Sure said he would be providing security for this.
And that's all I have.
Sure. Let me ask a question.
Sure.
What do you think?
Got farm trucks?
Yeah. What procedure, do you just put out word that let's check some of those, and
I can tell you from previous court rulings, the court is very reluctant to find anybody guilty of a violation of this. Very reluctant. The requirement is, yes, you do have a farm. But there are so many loopholes in that law, it's extremely hard to enforce unless you can prove that they don't have a farm. It's sometimes kind of difficult. They could use the truck regardless of the age, to buy feed, to buy any supplies for the farm, which includes groceries. They can take the truck grocery shopping if they're using the food on the farm.
well, I understand that.
Now, if they drive it for work, they're in violations. Or if they drive it, we've
Students,
busted a bunch of schools.
Yeah, if they're up here just cruising the parking lot, or they're running up down 52 from the Burger King, I don't really have a problem. I think it's great that farmers get a break, but there's a whole lot of people running these things that don't have a farm, don't have any access to a farm. We know who they are, but if the judge won't cite them, if you write a ticket, do they have to come in?
Yes.
So there's a penalty and gets their attention.
Yes.
Also on that note, the panhandling seems to have dropped rapidly.
We wouldn't check too.
We had one Saturday, and I called in, and he might have been really a passive dude that just was trying to give
We
us.
took his sign anyway.
They're missed, they're not there anymore. That's really good. I've had several comments about how quick that happened. Thank you.
Like I said, I believe their intelligence network rivals mine. The word got out pretty quick, but, we have, ones that we have not called them, we've got complaints about them. By the time we got there, apparently somebody warned them we were coming, and they were off the roadway.
Maybe they got pagers.
Could be. One of them was soliciting at McDonald's, which the ordinance does not cover private property, it only covers the roadway. But McDonald's can request them to be removed, which we didn't.
Back to the farm tax man. When the guys set up a road check, I know they ask for driver's license. Do they ask for registration at a road check?
They do that.
So where do those people that don't have tags, where do they fall in?
They walk back to the back end of the vehicle and see if they have a farm use placard or the farm use plate.
And then that lets them go?
That lets them go unless they have previous knowledge that they don't have a farm. They're just taking this and using it.
There's a lot of tax. I really believe there's a lot of personal property tax That
Oh, I agree.
everybody else pays it, those guys ought to pay it. And there's, if you start observing how many of those things you see, it's amazing how many people drive vehicles that I'm pretty sure haven't been on a farm because they're really clean. And they may not even live on a gravel road because they're really clean cars and got a farm tag on. And I'm not talking about the state F tag, you know.
Right.
I'm talking about the plastic one that's issued by Tractor Supply for $3, so, I'd like to see a harassment, if that's the right word, at least ask them where their farm is.
We get a lot of information from individuals, which is actually one of the requirements, because these deputies don't know who's farming and who's don't. You know, and it's